my name is Snowy and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm naming the top 10 reasons why you should still play The Sims 2 in 2023. There's way more reasons, this is just my top 10, so if you have any more, feel free to drop them down below in the comments. I would love to read them. Number 1, world creation. Now, once you open your game, once you open your game, you have this beautiful loading screen. Obviously mine is modded, but whether it's modded or not, you have these hoods right here, beautiful animated, 3 from base game, 3 from expansion pack. So in total, in The Sims 2, we have 6 worlds full of amazing lore and detail. Love it. But what if you want to make your own world? For example, we are pretty much in the Halloween spirit. What if you want to make a spooky little world? You can. You can come right here in the create custom neighborhood, and we'll warn you that the world will have no lots, no sims, literally an empty world, okay? You say yes, and then you are greeted with this little pop-up that it has a bunch of templates that basically is terrain maps, and I like to call this basically structures is what I like to call them, the structure of the world. And why do I say this? Let me give you an example. Let's say you will love the Crystal Springs, you love how beautiful this looks. You go load template, but what if you want the structure of the world, but you want it as a desert, right? You don't want it to be green, you want it to be a desert. You can. What if you want the same thing but concrete for like apartment lives, to build apartments? You can. So you can choose whatever terrain type you would want, which is amazing. That alone is amazing. Then it will ask you to name your world. And one little detail that not a lot of people know, and I personally found out about this like, I don't know, a few months ago, is that you can rename the world at any given time. So let's say you give it a name, and next time you play the world, you're like, what the hell, this is a really dumb name that I chose. You can rename it. In fact, you can rename any world in The Sims 2, including the pre-existing worlds. How freaking cool is that? I mean, come on. And then you have the neighborhood description, aka the neighborhood bio. The Sims 2 is the queen of bios, and bios, let me tell you, it completely changed my gameplay and the level of realism and personalization in The Sims 2. In this case, you can make a backstory for your neighborhood. You can maybe even tell a little bit of a drama about the families that are or will be in the world. So you can be really specific about it. Now, let's say you go in, you load the world, you have the map. Now, before you create your houses and sims, you are also greeted with the option of hood deco. You can download more if you would wish, but honestly, even in the game, the hood deco is amazing. And what is hood deco? Basically is little decorations that make your world very realistic. They're not something that Sims can interact with. They're literally some stuff that you put in the world as a decoration, like the wood mill, for example, that is right here. The trees, the flower fields, the bushes, the little piles of wood, whatever it is, it helps you decorate the world and make it even more realistic. So the possibilities of creating a world in Sims 2 are endless, and it's so much fun. Number 2, game lore. Now I loaded in Strangetown because Strangetown is one of the best worlds to talk about this. What is game lore? Game lore basically means about the history of the worlds, the connections between families and sims, the backstories, their ancestors, what is going on in these little houses or even community lots, their bios, everything, okay? And in this case, a lot is going on. For example, Bella from Pleasantview that was missing, mysteriously abducted by aliens. Guess what? Is showing up here. In fact, if you go to neighborhood right here, this option, the neighborhood story mode, you see Bella right here. She will roam the streets of Strangetown really randomly. You have aliens living among the humans. You have nervous subject that is being subjected to some really creepy stuff from two crazy mad scientists. So you have like three dudes, three bros living together. One of them is pregnant with an alien baby. You have pretty much a serial killer with a bunch of graves in her graveyard, and no one says anything. So you have a lot to explore. A lot of crazy stuff is going on. A lot of people think The Sims 2 is very sweet and stuff. In The Sims 2, no, there was no chill. There's always something going on, and it's so fun to jump from household to household to really discover all these little secrets and all these details about The Sims and their stories. This leads me to number 3, rotational gameplay. Now, a lot of people don't know what this is about. Rotational gameplay, it's a way that most Sims 2 players play and avoids really repetition, avoids being boring to play The Sims. Not that The Sims 2 honestly can be boring, you can't beat me, but makes it more fun. Let's say I choose the Spectre household. Now, some people play rotationally, like for I don't know, an entire season. Some play for like 3 days. I play for a sim week, an entire week. Okay, so let's say I play the Spectre for a week. Been there, done that. Then I will change to another household. Let's say the Smiths. Again, I play them for another week. What does this mean? This means that I'm not bored, right? I'm jumping from household to household. And also means the Sims are developing at the exact same speed, at the exact same time, okay? So if the elders are dying, they're dying pretty much at the same time. Same thing with babies being born, the kids growing up, teens going to university, you know. So you see the world developing at the exact same speed, exact same rate, which is something I absolutely adore, and it brings me a lot of immersion into the game. Number 4, you may be wondering, why are we in Create a Sim? This is the best way I can possibly explain the number one reason. Each life stage is very different from each other. Starting with babies here, or should I say toddlers, you start really see their personalities. They can steal bottles from other toddlers. They can start developing the love for their very one true hobby. They can play in the snow. They can play in the leaves, like interact with the seasons basically. They can interact with pets, which is absolutely adorable. They can beg for attention to their parents and older brothers and sisters. Like, there's so much these little guys can do. They're very overrated. People usually don't like to play with toddlers, but I think they're adorable and there's so much to do with them. Now moving on to kids. Kids are also very unique in The Sims 2. They have a bunch of little tricks, like gymnastics tricks they can perform to their older Sims and like proudly show up, and everyone will clap if it goes well, like they're really happy. But there's also some darkness in the game. So for example, if the parents divorce, the kids will be absolutely distraught. If the parents argue a lot, they will run away and just cry in a corner. If their aspiration meter is on the red, they will throw fits and tantrums and be really unhappy. So it's not just rainbows and sunshine. There's a lot of realism how kids would react to negative experiences as well. But of course, there's also the positives. Besides the little tricks that I mentioned, kids have very unique interactions between each other. They have a lot of ways to play with other kids without even toys. I'm talking like cops and robbers, for example, hide and seek. They have all these little ways, and it's absolutely adorable. If you have seasons, they can, for example, build snowmen together with their families or have a little snowball fight. There's a bunch of stuff they can do. Teenagers, aren't they a little complicated? Yes, they are. Same thing in The Sims 2. They can develop acne and they can even put acne cream on their face, by the way. Little secret right there, a lot of people don't know. But this is where they start really growing up and they start to know what they want, or so they think. They want a lot of times have their very first kiss, start dating, sneaking out. If they really feel misunderstood by their parents, like their family, they can even run away from home. That is right. Again, some darkness but some realism. Another thing is in The Sims 2, if you are playing vanilla, so no mods, no CC, The Sims 2 for teens absolutely nailed the clothes. You have so much goth, preppy, cutesy stuff. Like you have all kinds of different fashion styles for teenagers that you would probably still see today in another form. So I really like that detail. Adults, and by the way, I love this default dress, so pretty. Adults, honestly, it's pretty straightforward, but another thing that I really like about them is how different from each other I can make them. You can make someone go crazy, like go to parties, getting drunk, do a bunch of woo-woo with a lot of people, or you can be like a really nerd sim reading books, maybe trying to discover aliens. Whatever you feel like doing, you can. And then you have elders. Now, elders are pretty much adults, honestly, in terms of gameplay. However, they will have some wants and fears that are very unique to them. For example, sometimes they want grandchildren, or they want their kids to get married. So there's a little bit of gameplay right there. But generally speaking, they're pretty much like adults. But they have cute little animations, just like you saw. But to me, they're very important. I love elders in The Sims 2. I think they're the pillars of the families, so I give them a lot of love. I focus on the hobby system, but yeah, I just love them. And finally, there's another age group that is not here, which is between teen and adult, which is young adult. Now, you can only achieve this life stage in two ways. You either send your teen kids to university and then they age up right there, or you go to create a sim in university towns and they will be a young adult. Now they're pretty much the same, honestly, as adults. The only difference is they have the voice of a teenager and they have a weird walk, but that's pretty much it. Number 5, Sims are very unique in The Sims 2. And since we are in Creator a Sim, I will mention some things that make them very unique, starting with the bio. You can make an entire backstory for the sim. You can make a short little thing, a very sassy little description if you'd like. Or if you're like me, I like to tell about the sim a little bit, and at the end, I love telling about their favorite food and favorite color. It's little details that I like, and it makes the Sims feel really real to me. I feel very connected to them. Moving here to Personality and aspiration. You have the zodiac sign in The Sims 2, and this plays a huge role in the attraction system. So, whoever your sim is interested in, so once they turn into teenagers, it's really important. But even as kids, this is really important because it will affect how they interact with their brothers and sisters, their friends, their family members. It's is crucial for gameplay. You have aspirations, and each aspiration right here in The Sims 2 actually matters. It directly influences the fears and wants that your sim has, their life dream goal, and even their own autonomy. And of course, you have turns ons and turn offs. These are something that affects just how they feel about other sims, like who they are attracted to. Okay, so we are in the Spectre household right here, so I can keep going with the number 5 that sims are unique. Once you click on the Simology tab right here, you can see their own interests, and every single sim will have different interest bars. So, for example, Olive here absolutely despises sports. She cannot handle that. She hates traveling, but she loves paranormal, for example, and animals, and environment, crime, little sus. Now let's go to Ophelia here. What does she like? She does not like crime at all, which is different from her grandmother Olive. Just a little example, and this is so incredibly important for their personalities, and I'm always fascinated how unique it makes the Sims be. Moving on to hobbies. Now, every single sim will have their one true hobby, which means their one true passion. One of these, okay, and we have a lot. No, does it mean you can't develop other hobbies? No, you can, but you will have that one true hobby, and that is very important. And I want to mention the hobbies for a very specific reason. Some of them, children can also participate. For example, the little violin, they can play violin. Kids can play violin, which is so cool. The little dancing bar right here, kids can also interact with. So, something that the Sims 2 does and the Sims 4, for the love of God, should do is in the Sims 2 they include kids a lot in their hobbies, and of course the other age groups as well. So you have dance, you have fitness right here, you have, a bunch of stuff from the bookshelf like culinary and mechanical and nature and science. Right here you have so many stuff to do unique to your sims, and this also directly impacts the family gameplay, how they have their wants and how they interact with each other as well. Sometimes they can bond between each other. Number 7, the Sims 2 sims are very smart. And what I mean by this is, first of all, good autonomy. I'm going to let the game run. We already have a little pop-up right here, that's fine. But as you can see, Sims right away do what they like. Olive here was low on fun, so maybe she'll play some computer. And Ophelia was really tired and she decided to sleep in her grandma's bed. So the Sims are very smart. Most of the times, honestly, you don't even need to take care of them. They do their own thing, which is incredible. But this also applies to cheating and grieving when you lose a family member. So, for example, when you lose a family member, let's say Ophelia here, she lost her parents and she grew up badly. So you can see how it affects her, right? And after affecting her, she could go basically down a really bad road. But once a sim dies, they will cry and they will think about them for a long time. While in The Sims 4, it's like a day or so and it doesn't feel real to me. It's one of the things that really pisses me off, honestly. The Sims 2, they really grieve. Whether they're children or adults, they really feel that. Same thing with cheating. If a sim finds out their partner is cheating, there's two things that can happen. Number one, they can probably forgive them, but it will take a long time for their bar to be up and then be okay, and even them will always be a little shaky, their relationship. Or they can literally never forgive the sim. Ever. So it's like, again, the Sims are really smart. It's just not you controlling them. They have their own thing, their own personality. And this is mixed with the reason number 8, that Sims emotions and reactions are very realistic. That's true. To whatever happens around the world, they have very human reactions to it. Sometimes I get shocked at how realistic it is. Number 9, memories. This is huge. I don't care what people say about The Sims 4, Sims 3. Don't get me wrong, I love all the games in the franchise, but The Sims 2, to me, it shines with the memory system. It's one of my favorite things because you get to know the sim right away from the memories, and you can make your own memories starting from there, and it tells a beautiful story about their lifetime, and it's so special. I seriously wish other games would make this better. I know The Sims 3 have it. I didn't really like it, honestly. I know Sims 4 also has something similar, but it's not the same. This is so simple, a simple layout, telling about their memories. For example, Olivier, of course, has a very interesting life about what happened, and I like that. I like how I can get to know the Sims this way. And the reason number 10, it may look a little silly, but it's really important to me. Um, I have to say, I'm not a builder in Sims 4. I freaking suck at building. I'm trying to learn, but I suck. But one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to build a Sims 4 is that everything is a complete chaos. Sometimes I want to find a little item. Oh, Jesus Christ, I cannot find it for the life of me. But in Sims 2, guess what? Everything is organized. Build and buy mode is organized so well. It's organized by function, it's organized by room, and it's organized by collections. Let me give you an example. Let's say I want an item for the teen style. Let's say I want to give a new bed or something to Ophelia. Guess what? I can. I click on it. I see the beds, right? All the items from the pack are here. Same thing with all of the others. Everything organized by collection. Now let's say you want to buy functional. You want like buy lights. All of it. You have table lamps, you have floor lamps, you have wall lamps, everything, even street lamps, all of it. What about the rooms? You can go to kids. You have here in the miscellaneous, you have the hobbies, everything. It's so well organized and makes me so relaxed decorating and building The Sims 2. And I wish Sims 4 is probably the best for building, but in terms of organization of the items, absolute hell for me. So yeah, you guys, this is my top 10 reasons why I still love The Sims 2, and the top 10 reasons why you should still play The Sims 2 in 2023. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll leave it here while Olive is playing some video games. I would never expect her to play video games, but okay. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, everybody.